soap that I made yesterday. This is very much on a whim. I kind of just came in to take a look at it. I cut one end piece off, and it's still a little bit soft. It could probably go until morning, but I'm going to cut it tonight because I already got started. So here's the first piece already. You can see a little bit of a swirl in there. Let's move it forward. And the other side. I think I got my camera positioning pretty good tonight. If I bring the soap right up to the end of the miter box, you can see it pretty clearly. So that's one. And I got the next one, I think, positioned already. I'm cutting these at 1 1/8 of an inch. I feel that 1 inch is just a little bit too small because the nature of handmade soaps is that they do tend to go just a little more quickly than a harder bar unless you've cured it for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. And I have a soap planer on the way, so I'm not too worried about the surface being a little bit speckly because it's going to come off. And I'm actually not too unhappy with the pattern on this. I feel like it's coming out, better than I expected it to, all things given. As I said yesterday, if you watched the making video, I wanted to do a real, like a thin, very thin tray spoon swirl where you just kind of spoon the soap batter into the soap mold one spoonful at a time. I didn't get that far. So I ended up doing a regular, like a saline swirl, where you just scoop it around itself. So it's coming out okay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 inch and 1/8. Okay, come on, go into the little thing. I'm still kind of learning how to use this, so things might not go exactly as according to plan. But speaking of saline, to take a little, oh, maybe not, come on. Maybe I should have waited one more day on this. That was really hard to get that one through there. That'll be fine because I'm going to plane the fronts anyway. But very, very nice. Very pretty. But as I said, Celine would say, oh, the scent on this is absolutely gorgeous. And it is gorgeous. This is a creme de menthe, and I made it using a rosemary mint because creme de menthe is not like a true minty. It's a very, very strong mint. But I didn't want the soap to be that strong, otherwise you wouldn't be able to use it. It would be ridiculous in your nostril. So I did use rosemary mint, and then I calmed it down with a little bit of another fragrance. And it's a very fresh, very green, very herbal fragrance, and I'm really loving it. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 inch and 1/8. Yeah, I'm in a much better mood today. There are a few little air pockets, but that's to be expected when your soap batter gets to be so thick. Let's see if I can clean this one up just a little with my thumb. There we go. That one's really complex swirl. Really pretty. A little solider on that side. And just because it is a little stickier, it's making my soap cutter a little bit more stickier too. That's alright, we have the tools to clean. Perfect, that one was a perfect cut. Slid right into the slot. So I guess it's just the middle that was really soft. yeah, I'm pretty happy with the swirl after all. So the cream part is 3 milks, I guess 3 butters, because this is a palm-free recipe, so I used a lot of other thickeners to harden it up since there's no palm in it. Maybe that's why my soap batter got so thick. But there's 3 milks, 3 butters, 3 oils. I'm not going to list the ingredients yet because I'm still kind of experimenting with what I want my recipe to be. But I feel like I've come a long way really fast. That, especially I tested the end piece on this one, and already this one is really sudsy and creamy. It didn't dry out my skin, which was a really good thing. Some of my past experiments were a little bit drying. This one is not at all drying. And that's saying a lot because I have a immune disorder, which just causes me to have chronic dry skin. And it's one of the reasons that I wanted to try handmade soap, because I wanted to see if detergents in my soap was a problem. And I never really thought that it was. I just never had dry skin before. I used to have really oily skin. And I still can't say that the detergents in my soap are causing dry skin, but I do think that they're more drying to me now than they used to be before I suffered from chronic dry skin. So this recipe is very much a success for me, and I'm very, very happy about it. So I'm getting really, really close to what I think I want my signature recipe to be if I continue to make soap. So this one is 3 oils, 3 butters, 3 milks. The 3 milks is what makes up the cream part. The mint part's the rosemary mint, and the other fragrances. It just smells so clean. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. Cut the end off this way, because it's really hard to cut the ends, believe it or not. It's harder than it looks. And piece there. Swirled all the way to the end though. You can see there's a little bit of the swirl in the middle. Swirled all the way to the end. I noticed my thing is sliding. I'm getting really close. I guess you guys are getting really good close-ups of these swirls. That's a good thing. So then what about this last piece here? Let's see. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, and 1/8. And there's that piece, and that piece. And the last piece is like a mini bar. It's like a guest size bar. It's probably one that I end up using myself. Some of my neighbors have been starting to ask me for soap, so as my other soaps start to cure and hold up, I have no problem with the dreaded orange spots, none whatsoever, which is perfect because I have been told repeatedly, you have to be careful of the dreaded orange spots. Your soap is going to go rancid, especially because I'm a newer soap maker. It's expected that I would fail over and over again, and I haven't been failing. Most of my fails have been that I'm messy with my soaping, which is why I always cover my countertop, or I've had a few soft ones but not too many, and more experienced soapers have told me that I'm just being too hard on myself. So it's really just a few haters that have kind of told me that I'm going to fail. But since I haven't been failing, that my soaps have not been going rancid at all, no dreaded orange spots, no nasty smells, no soaps falling apart, nothing like that. So since that's not happened to me, I'm going to say that my soap's a success. So if you don't like my videos, or if you want me to fail, or if you're generally going to hate on me, just do me a favor and unsubscribe. I don't want the hate on my channel. I don't want it on my blog. And I was recently banned from a forum, probably by somebody who was just jealous because I didn't really do anything wrong, hardly at all. All I said was that there was too much meanness on the forum and I got banned. I don't know how that happens, but whatever. But there we go, all these pretty pieces. There is one thing that I kind of noticed. I was kind of wondering, about all the specks in my soap, and it's probably too fine to see. I don't know if you can see that. Some of the specks I think is the texture from the cutter, because I'm just using a dough cutter, and you know, it kind of drags to the soap a little bit. I also think I've come to realize that some of the little dots in there are because I am using a super fine oatmeal. They're just little pieces of oatmeal. So, very organic to be able to see that in there. This one's my favorite, I think. Look at how swirly that is. Super pretty. Ta-da. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm very happy with this soap. And it's going to go on the curing rack, and if in 12 weeks it hasn't gone DOS on me, like I said, this is a new recipe, so this one has a chance more than the others because it's a new recipe. This one has more of a chance of potentially failing, but we'll keep an eye on that. And as long as it holds up, then I'll be able to maybe start giving away some of the soaps I've been working on for the last few months. That's it. Have a nice night. Thanks for watching. See you next time.